And maybe he comes in there, he is excellent. Maybe he's somebody that you can have at that position for some time. But I think more importantly, you start anew, you move on from Tua, you start this fresh culture in Miami, and then when they eventually do draft their new franchise quarterback, you don't have to start him right away because you have Malik Willis in the fold.
This is a lease with an option to buy. That's the contract that they gave Malik Willis. $22.5 million is not top-end quarterback money. Hell, it's not even middle-class quarterback money. What Malik Willis got was a contract reflective of somebody that had a small sample size in terms of being a starting quarterback in this league. But he flashed very well with the games, the opportunities that he's had. Malik Willis, over the last several years, this is crazy when you hear this stat. Over the last 2 years, among the 62 quarterbacks with at least 100 dropbacks, nobody had a better QBR than Malik Willis.
Wow.
So this guy is absolutely phenomenal. You go back and look at the tape of the game he stepped in for Jordan Love against the Chicago Bears. Albeit in a loss, he balled.
Yes, he did.
The next game against the Baltimore Ravens torched him.
And he did that 2 seasons ago as well.
Yeah, the Indianapolis Colts game, which you went to. Yeah,
I was there.
He played really, really well. Like
He's
Malik
steady.
Willis, now that he's gotten with a functional franchise with good coaching, has shown himself to be a good player in this league at the quarterback position. The only question is whether or not he's going to be able to sustain that when defenses game plan specifically for him and adjust to all of the different things that he does well. They're going to try to figure out whether or not he can play left-handed. I think that will be the big question mark. But what I love about the fit in Miami is not only can he be a mouthpiece for the GM and the head coach, but he also has an opportunity to be around skill position guys like Devin Achane and like Jalen Waddle. Those guys, in terms of their skill sets and their speed, give Miami the potential to have the fastest offense in the NFL.
And based on the circumstances that the Dolphins now find themselves in, you release Tua, you have to take on $99.2 million in dead money. You know that you're in a tough spot financially, but what you do know is Malik Willis. Jeff Hafley went against him every day in practice. He was the Packers DC. He knows exactly what he's getting in Malik Willis. John Eric Sullivan in the building with him, very familiar. So even though you find yourself in this transition period, you at least have a known commodity coming into your building.
All right, the other guy.
There are 20 other quarterbacks that have a higher average annual value than Malik Willis.
20.
20.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that's right. He should not be one of the 20 highest paid quarterbacks in the league, and he's not.
I understand that, but that's not how free agency works.
Yeah, of course.
Guys are unencumbered. Teams throw a boatload of cash at them. They boost the market in terms of the position-specific contract value. But Malik Willis got a representative deal considering the small sample size. I think there's a ton of upside for him down there in Miami. I think this is a win-win for both sides.
The other guy that he replaced is Tua. You realize how little he was wanted by the fact that he was the first one signed. That may sound odd. I'm going to tell you why. We sat here yesterday, and Dan Graziano, ESPN NFL reporter and insider, made it very clear. Minnesota is where the QBs want to go. Every big-time QB wants to go to Minnesota. What you learned by Tua going to Atlanta right off the bat is that Minnesota had no interest in him. Because every other quarterback is waiting. Every other quarterback in that price range is waiting to see what Minnesota's decision is. And Tua, I don't think they had any interest in. He goes to Atlanta. This left-handed depth chart is an odd thing with Michael Penix Jr. and Tua. Stefanski is the head coach there. Maybe he'll bring in Dylan Gabriel, too, while he's at it. Might as well, as a third-string quarterback. But the reality is you have a banged-up starter and a banged-up backup competing for a job in Atlanta. Does this tell you more about Tua, or does this tell you more about Michael Penix Jr., this move with Tua going to Atlanta yesterday?
Well, I think Atlanta's trying to thread the needle. They need somebody in the offseason that can operate the offense. I think it helps that he's a left-handed quarterback. So all of a sudden now there's not this huge adjustment for your receivers, for all of the skill positions that touch the football in terms of the different angles that they're going to be getting the ball from their quarterback. I think this is an interesting opportunity for Tua, because this will be the best offensive line that he's ever played behind. This is a really good skill position core when you consider what Atlanta's bringing to the party with Drake London, with Kyle Pitts, with Bijan Robinson. So I do think there's an opportunity for Tua to reestablish his NFL career as a starter. He'll have an opportunity, like I said, to get a lot of reps with the first team. We'll see how Michael Penix's injury progresses in terms of his rehab and his availability for week 1. But make no mistake about it, there is an opportunity for Tua to start some games for the Atlanta Falcons. And it's just a matter of what he does with that opportunity.
For sure. And if you're Atlanta, not only are you trying to have that continuity, this was a really low-risk move for you because Miami's eating so much of that salary. I think they're paying him, $1.2 million this season?
League minimum, yeah.
League minimum. So if you're Atlanta, you're thinking this is not going to hurt us long term if it doesn't work out, but he's a veteran quarterback. We know what we're going to get from him from a certain perspective, and he can buy us some time, hopefully, until Michael Penix Jr. returns.
Let's just make up that both guys are healthy for 17 games, okay? Michael Penix Jr. and Tua both healthy for 17 games, both eligible to play and active to play for 17 games. Who starts more games for Atlanta this year, Penix Jr. or Tua?
Penix. You got to figure out what you got. So when Penix is healthy, they're going to give him an opportunity to start. And I guess that's the beauty of bringing in a guy like Tua, because he brings a certain level of credibility because of the track record, how many games he started in this league. The overall record when he left Miami was 12 games over 500. He's led the league in passing yards one year. He led the league in completion percentage another year. This is a guy that is, representative of what an NFL quarterback should be. Yeah, I mean, he's numerically, but also like from a skill set standpoint, this is what an NFL quarterback is. He is one of the 32 best quarterbacks in the world. Okay, I think that matters. So you have an alternative to the guy that you're hoping develops into your long-term franchise quarterback in Michael Penix. So I think that's the important thing for KOC. I mean Kevin Stefanski bringing him in here. It's all about making sure that you have a viable alternative for the guys on this team at the quarterback position, and Tua is that for him.
For sure. And to answer your question, Michael Penix Jr. is 4-8 as a starter over 2 years in the league. Do we know who he is? Do you know who he is? I don't. So if I'm Atlanta, when he comes back, I need to find that out. So if I had to go one of those two lanes, I would definitely want to see what Michael Penix Jr. can add more than Tua.
It's interesting when you look at the quarterback market yesterday, like the big ones haven't signed yet. Kyler Murray hasn't signed. Right, and Tua is a big name, obviously, but Kyler Murray hasn't signed. We expect wherever Kyler Murray signs, he has a chance to be a starter for maybe all the games this year. Aaron Rodgers, same thing, right? Kirk Cousins, maybe not as much. Daniel Jones still in limbo as to what that contract is. We saw Arizona. We thought Arizona would be in the Malik Willis conversation. What's wrong? We thought Arizona would be in that Malik Willis conversation. Maybe they were. They lost out on him, obviously, to Miami. And Arizona brings in Gardner Minshew. It seems like Jacoby Brissett, true professional, is going to be their starter. That's the one team that seems like maybe they're okay getting the first pick in the draft next year. The Dolphins don't bring in Malik Willis with being okay to get the first pick in the draft. Right?
Agreed.
The only team, as I see it right now, in the NFL, based on quarterback moves, because we always start there, the only team that I see being okay with getting the number one pick in the draft next year seemingly is Arizona. Is there another team that would be in competition for that? Not this upcoming year, not the draft that the Raiders have the number one pick.
Well, because the Jets made moves.
The Jets made a lot of interesting moves, and I think a lot of the moves were to keep Aaron Glenn's job. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I think it's veteran guy. I don't have to worry. But Demario Davis, you coach the team. I have to go talk to this guy. You handle this, right? Veteran professionals on the Jets. I don't think the Jets are okay with getting the number one pick in the draft next year.
No, they have to win games. They have to win some games.
It seems like, based on quarterback moves, the only team right now in the NFL that is okay with getting the number one pick in the 2027 draft would be the Arizona Cardinals. Because the Dolphins, I thought, were going to be that. And I thought would not go and get Malik Willis. And I thought they would be okay with Quinn Ewers as their starter for a year and just kill the time.
But can you satisfy both things? Can Malik Willis come in, be a competent quarterback, start to develop this new culture, be a leader on that team, and the team still be bad? And you're still losing games, but you're competitive in those games?
Not based on what the two of you just said. Not based on what he can present to them.
But
not based on the numbers.
He can't do it all.
No, I understand that. But CC just gave the offense. He gave the positive spin of, if things go well, there are makings of a decent offense in Miami.
Yeah,
right?
but best case scenario, that offense is decent. You're building something, but you're still losing games.
Sure.
So where you're not defeated, you see the forest through the trees. You have a glimmer of hope, but you're also not winning games. So you're in a good position in a quarterback-rich draft that will be coming up.
All right. We have a Hall of Famer heading west, and it seems like a big surprise. A lot of job openings still available after one day of free agency. And, of course, you find all those job openings on ZipRecruiter. It's tournament